Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge, was warned by experts after meeting UK politicians for discussions to raise awareness and advocate for a cause close to her heart. The Duchess personally chaired her first roundtable discussion at the Royal Institute in London on Thursday, June the 16th, with government ministers, including Health Secretary Sajid Javid and the early years sector, to mark the release of new research for the Royal Foundation Centre for Early Childhood, all about the importance of early childhood development and its links to mental health. Catherine has long been a champion of the importance of early childhood development. The discussion focused on forthcoming research led by the Centre into early childhood development, as well as new findings that show that 91% agree that early years are important to shaping a child's life. Arriving at the Royal Institution early in the morning, Catherine, 40, appeared in high spirits in an elegant pink blazer over a white top. She completed her look with trousers in the same shade as the blazer and heels. The pictures from the event showed Catherine with pages of notes spread in front of her. Ahead of the beginning of the meeting, the Duchess was snapped, shaking hands with high-profile guests, including Health Secretary Sajid Javid. Other government members in attendance included Minister for Families, Will Quince, and officials from the Health and Social Care and Education departments. Catherine's first ever roundtable discussion with leading political figures, amid showing there is a real appetite in the country to see children's mental health being prioritised. During the meeting, the Duchess appeared animated as she chatted with the government ministers about the topic, often referring to notes within the folder in front of her. Speaking ahead of the meeting, the Duchess said, "Our experience in early childhood fundamentally impacts our whole life and set the foundation for how we go on to thrive as individuals, with one another, as a community and as a society. The findings published today present us with a huge opportunity and demonstrate there is a real appetite for the public to bring this issue upon all of our agendas. There is more we can all do. Every member of society can play a key role, whether that is directly with a child or by investing in the adults around them, the parents, the carers, the early years workforce, and more." She added, "If we could come together to raise the importance of early childhood development, we'll soon see that healthy, happy individuals make for a healthier, happy world, which is why every second we spend with a child is an investment in our collective future." The discussion was focused on new findings by her centre that show that 70% of people believe early years development should be more of a priority for society. Meanwhile, 55% of the public recognise that future mental health is the most likely part of adult life to be affected by one's early years, followed by the ability to create and maintain relationships and future happiness. The Duchess set up her research centre after working with academics and professionals in the field who believe what happens to the youngest members of society has a direct effect on their lives as adults, including their mental health, addiction and social exclusion, as well as their physical well-being. The Ipso research, commissioned by her Centre for Early Childhood, shows that informal groups are the key source of support for parents, with more than half of parents of children aged 0 to 5 stating their family or friends were the best source of information on their child's emotional and social development. Despite all this, parents are still more likely to seek out information and advice on their child's physical health than they are on their social or emotional development, with 35% asking for advice on nutrition, while just 21% seek advice on the development of social skills. However, royal commentator Christopher Wilson warns that it's extremely unwise for a young royal such as Catherine to hold a meeting with politicians. He wrote on Twitter, "With the greatest respect, in the present climate, it's extremely unwise for young royals to be sitting down with politicians, however good the cause. Good work can be achieved without involving MPs and ministers." According to royal expert Camilla Tomini, the Daily Telegraph's royal correspondent, the Duchess knew from the moment that she married Prince William that she wanted to find a philanthropic cause she could champion as impactfully as Princess Diana's landmine campaign. Focusing on early years development was born out of her first royal engagements in her role as patron of the charity Action on Addiction, which works with people battling drug and alcohol problems. In October 2011, the Duchess made a series of under-the-radar visits to Hope House, a women-only rehabilitation centre in Clapham, southwest London. Rebecca Priestley, who accompanied Catherine and worked as her private secretary for 5 years, said these trips played a pivotal role in her choosing early years of childhood as one of the main pillars of her public role. In 2018, Catherine created a steering group to investigate the link between childhood experiences and adult behaviour, and hopes that the result of these surveys and other research will encourage a nationwide conversation on the subject, raising awareness of how the first 5 years of a child's life will impact the next 50 years. Catherine previously spoke about her personal interest in the early years during a landmark speech after her 5 big questions on the Under 5 survey garnered over 500,000 responses. People often ask why I care so passionately about the early years. She said, "Many mistakenly believe that my interest stems from having children of my own. Well, of course, I care hugely about their start in life. This ultimately sells the issue short. If we only expect people to take an interest in the early years when they have children, we are not only too late for them, we are underestimating the huge role others can play in shaping our most formative years, too." She added that the early years are not just simply about how we raise our children, but about how we raise the next generation of adults and the society we will become. Emphasising the long-term nature of her work during her keynote speech in 2020, Catherine underlined the importance of early childhood in shaping the rest of our lives and broader societal outcomes, saying, "It is a brave thing to believe in an outcome, in a world even, that might not be fully felt for a generation or more. But what you do isn't for the quick win, it's for the big win. It is for a happier, healthier society, as well as happier, healthier children." More than 500,000 people took part in the Royal Foundation's 5 Big Questions on the Under 5s poll, which was carried out by Ipsos Mori and produced the largest ever response from the public to a survey of its kind. The research was hailed a milestone moment for Catherine and will be used to shape her future focus on early years development, which, sources say, will continue for the rest of her life. Last summer, she launched the Centre for Early Childhood to carry out her legacy-making job on the topic. And in June 2021, she joined forces with US First Lady Jill Biden to pen a comment piece in which they pledged to collaborate across borders to shift how our countries approach the earliest years of life. They wrote for CNN, "If we care about how children perform at school, how they succeed in their careers when they are older, and about their lifelong mental and physical health, then we have to care about how we are nurturing their brains, their experiences and relationships in the early years before school." They also said, "This issue should matter to parents and non-parents alike. We can all do our part by valuing the roles of mothers, fathers and caregivers. If we want strong economies and strong societies, we need to make sure that those raising and caring for children get the support they need." Catherine also went to Copenhagen in February as part of her employment, and it was an important solo visit that was focused on learning more about the Dutch approach to early childhood development, which is world-leading in many respects.